come now. Right, okay, so let's have a look at, first of all, the fantasy football, because Spider will shout at us, first of all. So, what I need to do now is find the screen where I've got the results of the fantasy football on, and then we can do...
So let me, I'm going to interrupt while you do that.
Talk.
We should say that, although you were slightly, offhand there about your comment, like, we are very appreciative of the work the Spider's doing, keeping this up to date and stuff, and it's really cool.
I was saying that in a completely jokey way, but he's a legend for doing what he's doing. I mean, this is brilliant, and everyone in the OCC will have a chance to join in next season, I hope, and we can run it a bit more better, a bit more easier, hopefully. Although, of course, we have got Christmas probably in the way, but that'll be fine. Okay, right. You're going to do the song, Core Knight?
No, sorry, I don't remember what I did. What was it?
Well, you hummed something, didn't you, last time?
Yeah, I did. Was it? I have a feeling it was classical or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm not in the mood to do it in front of. It feels weirdly different with two other people in the call than it does when it was just you and me chatting. I don't know why. Just I describe you as a lot of things and frequently do, Core Knight, but shy is not one of them. But yeah, there you go. I am painfully shy, actually.
I mean, I would boil it down to the fact that Core Knight's not hearing his own voice booming back at him like 90% of the time, so he's confused.
Yeah, exactly. I've got headphones on that quietens down everything.
Okay, right. So anyway, imagine we played the theme tune for the fantasy football that maybe we'll actually get. Like my daughter has she's 10. Is she 10? Is she 9? I think she's 9.
Do you know what her birthday is?
Her birthday is in February. Yeah, February the 14th. So I can never forget.
Ethel could probably tell you more about his Blood Bowl players on his teams than about his children.
Yes. But she's just started the flute, so I reckon I can get her to. I can record her playing something on the flute, and we could use that as a theme song. And she doesn't know this yet, and she doesn't watch this, obviously, because it's crap. But she's got in a keyboard for Christmas as well, so I'm about to be inundated with noise. But there we go. So she could potentially record something for us as well, right?
Is that why you got 3 kids, so you can have like a 3-piece band?
Yeah. I wanted a football team, but my wife is sickened by me, so it wouldn't happen. Anyway, in third place this week is Roland II. So here he is in all his glorious glory, and he is quite the wolf, isn't he? I mean, what do you think of him before I tell you what he did this week?
Plus edge.
I thought I really wanted him, and did you win him in the end? You outbid me. Is he on your team?
Who's the you in this?
Is it Ethel? I think he's on Ethel's team.
No, it's yours. It's your player.
I did get him. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
13 points he scored this week.
Woo!
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Was the plus edge recent? Because I don't remember him having that one when we bid on.
I'll just have a look. That was his level. He leveled in his last game. That's his superstar. His legend, skill was a plus.
Right, that's what I mean. He's only just got that plus edge, right?
He's only just got that plus edge. Yeah, that's brand new. Paint's not even dry on the edge for.
Very, very, very nice piece.
Unbelievable. Yeah, raw.
Even more points next week.
Probably, yeah. He scored a touchdown. He broke armor 7 times and he blocked 7 times. So yeah, that's pretty good. Break. I mean, he does break armor on an 8+, right? But
wait, so he did 8 blocks and each of them broke armor.
7 blocks and all 7 broke armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could choose between having this wolf or swapping the agility for piling on, I'd still have this wolf.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, right. Do the cue music again, and in 2. Can we get an in? Can we do an in 2? Can you do that, Core Knight, for us? An in 2, or maybe Danton? I don't. Did you grow up in 80s Britain? You probably didn't. So, Core Knight will probably know more about what I'm referring to now. So do the thing. Core Knight.
I grew up in 80s. No, I mean I went to school in England. Remember, from between 86 and 91.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So it must have been horrible.
Okay, well, he's not going to do the song, but in number 2.
Oh, it's Bully or something, isn't it?
Yeah, God's sake. Just...
In 2! I don't know what the song is.
Do you have these staffing problems when you're doing your catering, Carmack. I bet you don't. Do you? Okay, so in 2,
I'm not going to rise to catering jokes.
I thought you invented the catering jokes. Were you not the one who started the catering jokes?
I think could have been me and you.
No,
I think did that.
someone suggested that I might be. Oh, I think he's in catering or something. So.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was someone told me. I think either Ethelred.
I think it was me because that's what you told me. Clearly as a joke, Carmack. I mean, we're not going to say what you do unless you want us to. We're quite capable of saying what you do yourself. But I'm sure you said you did the catering as a joke, and then I just went with it, and then that's how we refer to you now, as the caterer to the stars.
Let's stick with catering then.
Let's stick with catering. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah. How was your looking for guava in Brazil recently? Did it all go well?
Mango. I have mango every morning. It's very good there.
Well, in 2.
Oh wait. So before you move on from Roland and his 13 points, it's worth mentioning that there were 2 other players who were also on 13 points this week.
Oh, was there?
So he was equal third with Neil on my team, who's the runner, and
I'll tell you what, we'll get Neil up as well, just for you.
But no, you don't need to do that. He's just a runner with Bloodstep. He's kind of boring, but he's like
okay. And who was the other one?
And Hogweed from Brilliant Green, who's a blitzer.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that is the Agi Up one or the Pommer one.
Well,
Hogweed or Hacks? Not Hacks, no.
It's fine.
Pardon?
What?
What's his name? Hogweed.
Hogweed, yeah. Hogweed. Yeah, he's the Agi Up leaping blitzer with Pro.
So, anyway, second place, Stupid Adrian. He had a great game.
Yay!
Did really well. He was your top point scorer in your game, Carmack, with 14 points. Can you remember what he did?
I recall him injuring a skink.
Yeah,
and
2
then
off 7 blocks, which is good.
And then he also scored at the end.
And he scored, yeah.
2-0.
1 touchdown, 7 blocks, and 2 cas. I think he only records the more pointy things in the top 3 things, right? So presumably broke armor a bit more than that as well. Hence the 14 points. But those.
He got a knockout for sure.
That's the top things that he did. So yeah, well done. And that player is in Galentio's team. So well done, Galentio. You got 14 points there. But the star of the show, and really the star of the season, I think. I mean, we yet to total up the season points because obviously the season's got one more game to go. But I mean, this guy, what a guy! What a guy! Which is, of course, Randall. There he is.
Just happens to be on your team.
Yeah, who I chose at random. I've got to be honest. I didn't choose at random. I thought it'd be a good ball carrier, and I think no one else selected him either. So when he was left in the draft, I thought, yeah, I need him on my team. Who was a standard statted 7-3-3-7 ghoul, but with some nice skills.
I mean, guard is the only sort of non-standard skill.
Yeah,
I mean,
God's the only exciting one. I'm kind of negative about Fend, as everyone's aware, but the rest is
yeah.
No, I mean, by the time you get to that point, I mean, it's really either Fend or kind of sure feet. There's not many options left.
Yeah, I do prefer sure feet though.
Yeah, I mean, guard's tricky because they are good mobile pieces for guard because they're movement 7, of course, with often with dodge. But again, do you want armor 7 in contact with probably some big hitters? Probably not.
Well, then you have to you regulate it, but having a blodge stepping guard,
a blodge step guard is really good.
Yeah, I mean, the Fend definitely leans into the guard more than sure feet would.
Yeah.
Because especially it's protecting you for those moments when you do have to put him in contact. At least he's not getting bombed on or frenzy hit.
Yeah. And Dreamland is saying he likes Fend step on a carrier, which I think we all agree on. Although classically, in my game this week, I forgot that I had Fend step and sidestepped into a square that I could get piled on, which was again. Very not the best.
A mistake.
Which was a bit of a mistake. I did say to Courtnite when we spoke about our game briefly that I made some really good mistakes he would have really liked, and that was one of them. Fortunately,
Did he get removed or
It
not?
didn't get removed. No, so that was fine. But
So it was a bait.
it was a bait. That's what it was. Yeah. But it was really stupid. But Randall, anyway, what did he score points for this week? Well, he won a massive 18 points, which is probably I think one of the highest weekly totals we've had. 2 touchdowns, an interception, which kind of tells you how the game went, I think, and carried for 94 yards. That was his top three things. I think interceptions are probably one of the highest scoring point things, aren't they, Courtnite, from the charts because they're so rare.
Yeah, because they're so rare. Yeah, they happen, very infrequently. So
I mean, that was against Stolberg, so I presume that he was trying to record his glorious past as a passing chaos coach.
And also it's a fantasy football thing, right? So intercepting the ball, turning the ball over on your own is
laudable act.
Yeah, exactly. It should count for a lot.
Just roll sixes.
Just roll sixes.
There's what's going on in the dice game, and then there's the imaginings of it as a point scoring football game, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're getting the ball off your opponent, that should be.
Yeah, if I had Elon Musk's money, which I don't clearly, but if I did, for Blood Bowl 3, it would have a computer generated live action, less than a 3-minute replay of the key points in the game, but as a live action thing. Yeah. And then Blood Bowl will be mainstream, I think, because that'd be so exciting.
I mean, that's basically what they do with play of the games in first person shooter games, right? Where it randomly picks, it picks a
highlights. It's like I think it does it on Rocket League, isn't it? I think.
Worth mentioning that interceptions in Blood Bowl 3 obviously are going to be a lot more convoluted, right? Because now you have the whole you can interfere with the pass. It's kind of a 2-step process now, isn't it, with the new rules?
Yeah. Do you choose as well? Does it make a difference whether you choose to go for the interception or just go for the interference? I forget whether there's.
No, I think you have to go for the. You can't go for the interception just outright. You have to go for the interference. And then if you succeed in interfering, then that gives you the chance to try and intercept.
Okay, yeah. And they're both agi rolls, so they're both catches, aren't they? So
yeah.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense mechanically, but I imagine on tabletop it's a bit of a pain because it's kind of just adds more steps to the whole kind of process. But obviously, because they've basically made throwing as unattractive as possible, it probably comes up less than it used to.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because, at the moment, throwing is relatively unattractive, and you still do it as a last option quite often. If you get a good opponent, then you will be forced into throwing play at some point. I imagine the same will happen in Blood Bowl 3. It doesn't matter how unattractive it is. You will be forced to do it.
Some people are always going to, enjoy passing and try and build up a good passer anyway, right? But yeah, in the games where it's like people, two good coaches, or as it were, or two coaches who have eschewed passing, then it's still going to come up in the desperation play.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's like choosing to do a red dice, right? If often, surprisingly often, the red dice is actually a good option. And people just ignore it because they're scared. They think it's so bad, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the same way, passing will end up being a red dice option.
Yeah.
I mean, and some teams Humans and Skaven actually come with a pretty good passer out of the box. It's a 2+ passer, which is kind of a shame to not pass at all.
Yeah, exactly. So Dreamland points out, sometimes on a short drive, two turns, you have to have.
Oh, for sure, yeah. On a but I suppose interceptions do come up with those as well. Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I allowed my opponent to have an interception roll.
No,
it's not been often.
And luckily in my game there was an interception roll, but I didn't make it, unfortunately. But that seems to be the standard thing, doesn't it? Unless you're throwing bombs, which I found often intercepted or caught, much more than balls, it seems to be. But
I got intercepted last week with a dump off with Dark Elves. The blitzer who was blitzing me, I chose to dump off, and yeah, he caught it and then surfed my ball carrier. So it was lovely.
I think you were going to say my favourite play, which is the blitzer caught the ball and got wrestled down to the ground.
I was going to say give the Helio play out, Cornite, if you can talk about that one, to dump off into wrestle, and then they wrestle, and then it's a turnover.
I actually had a Dark Elf team where both my runners had wrestle, and any time that someone tried to sack them, I'd throw the ball at the opponent, just in the vain hope that they'd roll both down.
But that never happened.
And then there's a turnover because the person with the ball.
Yeah.
Did it? How many times did it happen?
How many times?
Once.
Okay.
Once.
But that once was amazing.
I bet it was amazing.
Totally worth
clipping that one.
The 20 games beforehand.
Okay, so that's the fantasy football. So well done. Oh, we haven't said who's top of the league of the fantasy football. I think it's obvious.
Can you show the Excel or not?
Yeah, I can. If you give me a second, I'm just going to pop it over across now. That one's horrible because it's all the data. But what corner? Sorry, Dante. What do you want to see? Do you want to see the standings?
Do standings.
Yeah, just the standings. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me make that a bit bigger. That's probably too big.
So I had one player get me 13 points, and the rest of my team get me 10 this week.
Yeah.
So you're almost uncatchable now, aren't you?
I think I'm 42 points ahead of Spider. So
I mean, average, it would have to be a crazy week.
Yeah, I'd have to get basically no points, and Spider would have to get 43 points. So yeah, pretty rough, really. I mean, there's quite a big variation in player points, really. I mean,
but it'd be interesting to look at, the sort of impact that player deaths have had, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got where's the master points list? I think it's here, which shows at the bottom here, if they're in red means they've died. So what's nice about this chart as well, and thanks again to Spider for this, is it shows when they died, and obviously that obviously remained dead, apart from that one player of yours, Danton, who switched sides. But I don't think he scored any more points for you, did he?
I've seen him pick up like 1 or 2 points because he's a zombie now, and he occasionally blocks things. But basically, it used to be a star Dark Elf blitzer, so obviously, he's getting a lot less points than he used to.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a thing in here that we want the average in there. So, Cornite, could you do that in the background whilst we carry on? Just average points. And then we can filter by that as well. So
if you type equals, the first thing that comes up is average.
Well, that's why you work in IT and I work in sales.
You click on the box underneath where you've written average and you put an equals in.
Yeah. Again, understanding every word, but together not making much sense. So basically I'm winning. So that was quite a lucky pick. So I think really the key for next season is going to be look for ball carriers, right? I think they're the ones that consistently score more. Although we'll see in a minute, I guess. Well, we can see by the end of next week. I think we'll probably review it then, who scores the most. But yeah, I'm looking forward to do it next season. Hopefully, Spider can assist us with the sheets as well. Although I think now we've got it all set up, it should work a bit easier. And our plan is to again draft between the 8 of us. If we get 8 willing volunteers to do the draft, but anyone else will be able to submit a team using any player, and then you can see how you compare against us, who are kind of hampered in a way. But yeah, I think it should be good. But again, I'll post on the OCC about that.
You say ball carriers are the best, right?
I think that's what I think, because Randall's a ball carrier and he's consistently scored lots of points. So
okay, so his average is 8.4.
Oh,
stupid Adrian, who's not a ball carrier in any
shape
real
or form.
sense.
Although he has scored.
Is purely Carmack's player who Carmack wants to level up, has scored 8.3.
Oh,
so having a coach behind a block beastman, is almost as good as Javelin having a ball carrying goal.
And who is the player with the highest average?
I think Randall is the top.
I think it's Randall 8.4 points each week. I think it's can be the highest.
Yeah, by a way.
And there are. Is there any players on no points? Oh no, even the real dregs have scored at least 1 point.
I mean, yeah,
there we go.
You,
Apart from
you get a point for blocks, right? So most players will have done some number of blocks at some point.
I got here. I'm just looking. Ball gag scored no points, but they died first game, so that's probably why. But I think everyone else scored points on that. Okay.